Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new Halvan's video. We're going to actually talking today about Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. Now keep in mind that there is spoilers, and if you haven't seen the movie you should probably steer clear of this video, but we're going to be just talking about Kylo Ren and why he is not a Sith, but he is not a Jedi. So simply put, Kylo Ren, or if you haven't already known, is Ben Solo, which is basically Han Solo and Leia's son. He was known to be Force sensitive when he was born, apparently, and they thought that the best outcome would be taking him to Luke and Luke training him as a Jedi. Unfortunately, somehow, some way, throughout that whole entire training process, he failed in the training and snapped. And from what we can assume from the flashback in the movie, when the Knights of Ren show up, he was seduced to the dark side and completely, as far as we know, annihilated the training group that Luke was training. And Tor and I did a little talk yesterday about it. It was going to be a coffee talk, but I decided not to, since it wasn't neither of us were focused on the actual topic, and we kind of just rambled for the most part. So what we talked about yesterday was that perhaps it had to have been Luke. Luke failed in some way. It was said in the movie that Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke, the new big bad guy, who a lot of people will assume is Darth Plagueis, or think is Darth Plagueis. Personally, myself, I have a feeling that he is no relation to the Plagueis Sidious storyline whatsoever. If he is, that is really cool, because Darth Plagueis is pretty much a badass. He can basically avoid death as much as he wants to with the Sith alchemy that he does. But we're not talking about Snoke or Plagueis. We're actually talking about Kylo Ren. Now, Kylo Ren, being Ben Solo, was trained by Luke, and somehow in the training went wrong. He felt the pull to the dark side. Snoke somehow sensed this, and apparently started whispering to him about him being more, and other people not being not being worthy of him, and all that stuff. So there was a lot of things there about that. Unfortunately, we didn't get too much story behind Kylo. He wasn't. There wasn't a lot talked about with him. He was just put in as the bad guy, and the guy that was gonna, get the killing blow on certain characters. Again, if you haven't watched the movie, you really shouldn't be watching this video, but there's spoilers in it, so yeah. Kylo, at one point, is talking to the Darth Vader mask, and he says, "Grandfather, I feel the pull to the light." And the reason why he doesn't have amber eyes, or he doesn't have Sith degradation, is simply because he is torn, he is conflicted. But he's not torn and conflicted like Anakin was. Anakin, you could see he was torn and conflicted. He was basically, he felt the pull to the dark, and he was trying his best to resist it. We have the opposite in Kylo Ren, in which he is basically, well, I want to be on this side. He's like, I want this, but he feels the pull to the light. And simply put, he's not going to be able to fully immerse himself into the dark side, which is why at both up until the last movie for the prequels, Anakin didn't show any dark side degradation, no Sith amber eyes or anything. He was basically, he was combating his feelings. He was trying not to get pushed over to the edge, but the thing that pushed him over to the edge was Padme. And, Padme ended up dying, and that just he had nothing left to live for after that, so that's why he basically says Anakin Skywalker is dead. I am Lord Vader. Like, there's no Skywalker left. And he was right. There was no Skywalker left at that point. Just as there's no Solo left at this point, because he wants to so bad to be the evil Dark Lord. He is fascinated with Darth Vader and what he did and how he was doing before he ended up turning sides again. And unfortunately, Kylo is just at that point now where he is not going to be able to be redeemed. I don't think he's going to be redeemed. If anyone thinks that he's going to be redeemed, I'm sorry. I have news for you. Like, he's not going to be redeemed. If he does end up being redeemed, that's a cop-out to me. I think that he should be either killed off or he should be left as the overarching villain until the next couple movies. Because if anyone thinks it's going to be ending with 9, it's probably mistaken. They're probably going to go to episode 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's going to be tons of these movies coming out over the next couple years. And then we have the spin-off series like Rogue One and the Han Solo one and all the other stuff. So we don't even know if those are going to be, in the timeline. Basically what they're saying is that Rogue One is going to take place a little bit before New Hope and move in towards the Resistance era. So, if it ends up being that way, cool. If it doesn't, we'll find out what happens when we get there. But as for Kylo Ren, he's being trained as a Jedi. He ended up not fulfilling his Jedi training, and then he did a coup d'etat of the training grounds and completely annihilated, with the help of the Knights of Ren, the training group that was there. And we don't even know if the Knights of Ren were something that happened before or after this. Like, are they old Inquisitors? Are they like people that were in the training group with Ben, and he decided to turn them to the dark side too? Was that his training group that he was with, or was that his a completely new faction that just came and took his mind? Like, he planted this seed of doubt, planted these dark thoughts in his head. Like, what is that? What it is? And if it is that, that's a good way of doing it. But you shouldn't force it in like that. So, but yeah, I would like to know what you guys think in the comments below. If anybody watches this, I don't assume everybody will watch it, but it is a good topic of discussion. Like, do you feel like Kylo is going to become a Sith? I don't think he's going to become a Sith. I think that he's going to be still, he's going to be upset after the death of his father. Because basically, if you don't know, he killed Han Solo. He is basically, what he said when he killed Han was something that kind of struck me as odd. And, it's kind of what led up to me understanding beforehand that he was going to kill Han. Basically what happens is they are over across a reactor bridge, and when they get to meet each other in the middle of the reactor bridge, they start talking, and Han's like, look, come back to me and your mother, like, leave this darkness behind, come and be a family with us. You don't have to be a Jedi, you don't have to fight on the side of good, just come back with us and be happy. And Kylo looks like he's gonna be the bigger person here. He looks like he's gonna be the one that ends up, turning back to the light. And then, in one fell swoop, he turns there and goes, I don't know if I know what has to be done. I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And Han goes, I'll help you. Like, I will help you. I'll give you the strength. I will help be your strength. And what he is referring to in that point is what I feel is that he's referring to killing Han. And Han basically comes in close, embraces his son, and his son's about to hand over the lightsaber to him, and then he goes, "Thank you." Like, Kylo Ren says to his father, he's like, "Thank you," and then ignites the lightsaber and puts it through his chest. Like, I feel like there might have been more story there, but I think it was Harrison Ford wanted to be out of the role of Han Solo. He doesn't want Han Solo to be canon anymore. Well, he'd be canon, but he doesn't want Han Solo to be an active member of the Resistance anymore. He doesn't want Han Solo to be in the movies anymore. And he said before, when he first started doing Han Solo, he said that he wanted to kill him off in the first movie. Like, he wanted the meaning behind Han's death to be the motivation for everybody else. And now the motivation for everybody else is put into the hands of the younger actors, who are Finn and Rey and all this, and to a greater extent Kylo, because their ties to Han, while brief, and the ties to Leia and stuff, they're basically saying, look, we want to pass the torch on. This is a passing of the torch. I would not be too surprised if they ended up killing Leia or Luke in the next one, because they want this to be the person. Sorry, not the person, but the people. They want this to be about the younger people. They want these people to be the new Star Wars, franchise. And whether or not some people are going to like that, I don't know. Whether or not it's going to be socially and morally accepted, probably not. But these actors are not going to live forever. They are regular people like us. They are not immortal. So, they will not be continuing as the actors going forward. I mean, look, Luke was in the movie for all of 10 seconds at the end, 25 seconds at the end. It was like he wasn't, and that's why he was so absent from all of the artwork and stuff. Like, it was basically because, look, we don't know if we're gonna have Luke in this one. We don't know if we don't know if we want Luke in this one, because Luke might end up being dead. Like, we want to kill him off. And I have a feeling that in the next one, or possibly the last one that comes out in the next couple years, I would not be surprised if we see Luke die and Leia die. Like, they're gonna end up killing these characters off, and you've got to be prepared for that. I'll be prepared for it. I'll know when it's happened. I was prepared for Luke and for Chewie and Han to die. Only Han died, and Chewie's still alive. The good thing with Chewie is that you could potentially just get another man to play Chewie. You will not be, however, getting some no-name guy to play Luke Skywalker, or you will not be getting a younger Harrison Ford to play a Han Solo. There's no one. They can't do that. And if they end up trying to put it into the movie like CGI it, it's gonna be bad. So I know that I kind of went on to a rant about what the movies are here in this one, but again, to a greater extent, this is all in the end about Kylo being a Sith or not. And he was not trained as he was trained as a Jedi, but did not complete his training, so he's not a full-fledged Jedi. He was, for lack of a better term, abducted by Snoke, and given some tutelage into the dark side. Snoke is confirmed, I think, to be able to use the dark side and able to tap into the dark side of the Force. Whether or not but he's not a Sith. So again, for the most part, they say that he's not a Sith. So that blows the Plagueis theory out of the water for Snoke. But I can go into more of a topic about this in the next couple of ones. Like, after this one, I'm going to go into Han Solo's death. I'm going to go into the future of Star Wars, you know, all that sort of thing. So there are tons more videos coming about this. Kind of just gonna have Star Wars: The Old Republic in the background about it. But yeah, to put the thing to rest, he's not a Sith. The joke was that, unlike Anakin, Kylo didn't kill the 42 younglings necessary to get his amber eyes, but in all honesty, it's simply because he's so torn. He's not fully immersed in the dark side. He hasn't given himself over. He doesn't, like, subconsciously he doesn't want to, but, you know, mentally and physically he wants to. He wants to be the bad guy, and it's the complete opposite story of what Anakin was. Anakin wanted to do good. He wanted to be the person to bring balance, and later on he did, but unfortunately, for the most part, he plunged the universe into a cold, cold darkness. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, you know, let me know what you think in the comments below. Sorry I rambled a lot in this video, and we're gonna have a couple more videos come out in a few minutes, or in a few days. So, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.